Debt is crushing millions of Americans right now. Interest rates are up, costs are up, and families feel like they're drowning. Joining us today is Melanie Parker, consumer finance advocate with Iconic Debt Relief, a company that's quickly becoming known for helping people get real relief and honest guidance. Thank you for joining us, Melanie. Melanie, if we don't mind, let's just start with the debts, personal debt situation. Our households, our people taking on more debt as we move forward.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. It's just unbelievable simply because, the interest rates have increased. We've got inflation. People are, income isn't going up, but debt certainly is.
So, first of all, why is that? I mean, prices are obviously exploded over the last few years, so and incomes can't trail the inflation rate. Otherwise, they would be spending way too much money hiring people. But what does Iconic Debt do for someone who's got feels like insurmountable? I would guess anything feels insurmountable, but how can Iconic help folks?
Great question. And again, thank you for having me on today, Eric. I appreciate it. Grateful to be here. But at Iconic, we can help consumers just enroll in a legitimate debt relief program, right? It is designed to help lower your monthly payments, give them room to breathe, because honestly, when you're put in these situations where you're just stuck making minimum payments month after month because interest rates continue to skyrocket, the Federal Reserve did just lower interest rates, but they didn't pass that on to the consumers. So essentially, you feel like you're just throwing money down the toilet over and over and over again, just to possibly have to use it again. So we step in, we clearly explain your options, guide you through the process, and really help you enroll in a program that's the right fit. Right. And that's the key. So we do this with compassion, transparency, and of course, absolutely no judgment. We treat you all like family.
So are you able to negotiate with some of our creditors?
Yes. As one of our debt relief programs, we are able to negotiate your debts down, which can essentially from the get-go save you about up to 50% on your monthly payments. So you finally have some room to breathe, put some money aside, use your cash for expenses versus feeling that need to always have to rely on your credit cards.
Mm-hmm. Can you give us an example of how give us a typical story of someone who contacted you? What were they feeling? What were they going through? And how did you guys help?
Absolutely. And Eric, I was actually just thinking about this lovely lady the other day. She was a single mother from Tennessee. She really stands out to me, but she had about $27,000 in credit card debt, right? And when she called in, she was feeling very overwhelmed, but she just didn't think 27,000 was enough. But it truly, when you go break down the financials, it's a lot. It's a lot because it feels like it's nearly impossible to pay off when your balances don't move, right? That, on top of that, her grocery bill had gone up nearly 30% in the last 2 years, if not more. Fuel continues to go up and down, but she was really just using those credit cards as a crutch to make ends meet and feel like she was just falling deeper and deeper and deeper every single month. Mm-hmm. And this is so many, but with her, she just really felt like she was drowning. After we enrolled her in our relief program, her monthly payments were significantly cut. I believe it was at least half, right? That what she was normally paying just on minimum payments. And she called me not long after, and she straight up said, for the first time in years, I don't feel like I'm drowning. She even teared up a little bit. She thanked me for the help and really helping her understand how it works and how she can have that hope again to financial freedom.
That's terrific. How can folks get in touch with you guys? What's the plan? What do they need? Do they need a ton of paperwork? What should they bring when they call?
No, they don't need a lot of paperwork. Just make the call, right? First and foremost, we're here with compassion. So we're here to listen and understand. Make the call. It could be the best call you've ever made, at least this year. You will never be judged. What we do is we simply just go through your financials. We go through your goals, and we really just break down and make sure we're putting you into the right program that fits your financial situation and your future needs. All right. So pick up the phone. Yeah. Again, we're here to help. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, it can feel like a struggle. Just give us a call.
Pick up the phone. That's the first step, and you're not under obligation to call them and hear them out at least, folks. Melanie Parker, Iconic Debt Relief. Really good to have you on. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks again, Eric. Have a great day.
We'll see you again soon. Alrighty, it's not just the U.S. that has an issue with a lying and deceitful mainstream media. The United Kingdom has its own version. It's called the BBC. For years, they've duped both the British and American people. Plenty of people watch the channel on this side of the Atlantic, too. They've tricked viewers into believing that they're a network of prestige and journalism, all while peddling a clear left-wing agenda. Turns out that the BBC was helping the leftist machine spread lies about President Trump, splicing footage of his speech on January 6th to make it look like he was inciting violence. Watch.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
BBC, folks, I will give you anecdotal stories. They call you up, the producers call you up to go do a hit with them or an appearance on them, and they're very, very nice, and you get in the chair and you start to talk, and they go at you with the most liberal BS you've ever heard in your life. The BBC is not fair and balanced, that's for sure. Well, we all know it's decision day with some pretty big races across the country, but of course, plenty of eyes are on the New York City race for mayor with terrorist sympathizer Marxist Zoran Mamdani likely to take over for Eric Adams. Pretty much a slam dunk now, folks. Still hard to understand why any single American would vote for this guy, especially when he says things like this.
And I just want to ask everyone in this crowd, if you can raise your hand if you have been called a terrorist while living in this city. Yes. If you can raise your hand, if you...
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't believe anything this guy... In New York, you're going to get what you asked for. You're going to get it. Be careful what you wish for because you just got it, my friends. Meanwhile, over in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where mayoral candidate Omar Fattah is about to take over one of the foremost terrorist breeding grounds in America. It's no surprise that Ilhan Omar is right there stumping for this America-hating candidate. It's also no surprise that there's not a single American flag in sight at this campaign event. Apparently, no English is needed either.
Ilhan! Ilhan! Ilhan!
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. آدي aan ugu faraxsanahay caawa in xafladan oo dhammaan dadka
America. That's America. Minneapolis. I'm pretty sure that mayor doesn't speak English either. All his campaign ads were in Arabic or some other foreign language, Somali, I guess. It's amazing what's going on, folks. Wow. What 2025 inflection point in America. We all know how Democrats love rebranding and renaming things that don't work for them. For example, they're trying really hard to undo the word communism and replace it with kinder, gentler Democrat socialist, as if that's any better. Well, Congressman Byron Donalds calls out this remarkable idiocy.
When you put in communist and yes, communist policies, that's what Zoran Mamdani is talking about.
He's not a communist.
It never
Democratic
works.
Socialist. He says he's Democratic
I can't tell what the difference is.
Well, he can describe
Explain what the difference is.
He can describe the differences for you. The socialism is not the same basis of communism in this country. You know that quite well.
The man wants to create government-run grocery stores. He wants free transportation, both of which are impossible to do. Because how is
communism is a trigger word to try to undermine all of his policies. He's not a. He says he doesn't.
I don't need to undermine his policies. His policies undermine himself.
I think you're looking at your next governor of Florida right there. I will tell you, she had no idea the difference. She has no idea that they're the same damn thing. Communism is an extreme form of socialism. And this BS, Democrat socialism, because the idiots of New York voted for him, you're calling Democrat, it's still socialism. Just because you voted for it, you call it Democrat socialism. You're putting lipstick on a pig, folks. In case you were wondering, Hakeem Jeffries has fully lost his mind. Looks like he's found a brand new way to slander the Trump administration and his top Republicans.
Well, the Trump administration and Mike Johnson are running a pedophile protection program. That's what they've been doing. And that's the reason why they refused to swear in Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva. For weeks now, she was elected in late September decisively. And Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva still hasn't been sworn in because she'll become the 218th vote on an up or down piece of legislation that will require the Department of Justice to release the Epstein files?
He can't help himself. He wants to be Obama. He will never, ever be Obama. How about one more? Let's do one more. Here we go. With the lies from Democrats about how Republicans are trying to suppress voters. Here's Chuck Schumer peddling the same old race-baiting lies his party likes to tell over and over again.
We're not going to let them revert to Jim Crow. And if you don't think they want to revert to Jim Crow, just look what they did in the SAVE Act, which went back to took Jim Crow for the whole nation. By so making it hard, they said you need ID, and they made it so hard to show ID that probably half the people in America couldn't vote. They don't want poor people to vote. They don't want people of color to vote. They don't want Democrats to vote. They don't believe in democracy. We do.
So another one of my harebrained ideas and things that keep me up at night. I have a great idea to solve the voter ID issue. And Democrats will hate it, and it'll work. Yeah, you know what? We don't need an ID card. You don't need an ID card to vote. But every polling place will have a facial recognition. You walk in to vote, they'll recognize whether you're an American citizen or not. Vote. That will work, folks. That will work, and they'll take the ball right out of Democrats' court, calling us Jim Crow for wanting an ID just to prove you're a citizen before you vote. It's just a thought. It's what I do. Back 2.5 minutes.